All right, everybody, welcome to today's edition of SWAC Talk. This is the show where we cover the SWAC inside and out. Of course, I am your tour guide around the SWAC. Seawell's coming at you. And we got another edition about to drop today. Going to talk some little Bayou Classic Kickoff time, controversy, some APR, and a couple moves that Southern made in the transfer portal that are very, very big. Other than that, if anything else pop on my head while we recording, then hey, it's gonna come up. But that's what we want to talk about today. So you can go ahead and check out those socials. They're on the screen down below. You can hit the Twitter, which I have been more active on than I normally have been before. So check out the Twitter, SWACTalk76. Also, my IG, I'm pretty active there. That page is SWACTalk. Facebook is SWACTalk. Gmail is SWACTalk76@gmail.com. And if you want to, show a little love to the show, you can hit the Cash App $ SWACTalk. Anything would be much appreciated. Also, check out SWAC Smoke tomorrow live at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. We always get it in. We go from one thing to the next. We got a pretty active chat room in there. So, want to come in and get down with the chat. Make sure you do that because we do interact with the chat, answer questions, and go back and forth, talk trash, you name it, we do it. Another edition of SWAC Talk coming on Sunday. And make sure you subscribe to the channel, man, because we got a lot of heat coming from this point on. So when you subscribe, hit the notification bell because we dropped 4 interviews last week, in the last week. Next week, we got a couple more coming on the way. So don't miss out. They're not on my Wednesday, Thursday. They're typically not on Wednesday and Sunday. So make sure you don't miss them. Hit that notification bell. Make sure you do that. Share the videos, like them. And feel free to comment, man, on anything. It could be somebody talked about on the show, something that you want me to talk about, whatever. Hit it up in the comments, and, I'll chop it up with you there. So let's go ahead and jump into it, man. This is not really a big deal. Some people made it a big deal, because that's what social media is all about. But Bayou Classic kickoff time, normal kickoff time since I believe 2015 has been like 4 o'clock, 4:05. 4:10, something like that. Before that, the game would normally start at 1 or 1:30. So with the game moving from NBC Sports, which is no longer available, to regular NBC again, they want to move the kickoff to 1 o'clock. So with that being said, a lot of people, had their opinions. Some people were okay with it. Some people were against it heavily. You got people chiming in on both sides. To me, I'm gonna give my input on what I think about it first and foremost. For me, it doesn't bother me one way or the other because I haven't stayed in New Orleans since like 2003 or 2004. I'm a go to the game and come back right out of the game person. So for me, it doesn't really bother me whichever time the game starts. The game starts at 4. I'm gonna be in New Orleans probably 12:30, 1 o'clock. If the game starts at 1, then I'm gonna probably be in New Orleans 9:30, 10 o'clock. Depending on what the crowd is like, what the atmosphere is, coming into the game, what kind of crowd is being expected. I get that earlier if it seems like it's gonna be one of those kind of games where it's gonna be packed. Otherwise, then I'll make it there plenty of time for me to get in the stadium at least an hour before kickoff because I like to sit and watch warm-ups. But that's, for me, it doesn't matter. Now, for some people who, Friday night is Ballad of Bands, you go out, you hit the French Quarter, Bourbon Street, whatever, parties, all night. It's tough to make it to a 1 o'clock kickoff, because you got to get up early and you got to get, you got to get to the stadium, 11:30, 12 o'clock if you're in the area, so yes, that's an adjustment. But to me, that's not a make or break thing. For those kind of people who like to go hard on Friday night, of course, that 4 o'clock kickoff is good for them, gives them some rest time. But if you're not if you don't go hard on Friday, then you got most of the afternoon to go hard before a 4 o'clock kickoff. But to me, like I said, it's not really a big deal because the game is the game. It's gonna start when it starts. Whether it's 1:30, 12:30, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, 5:30, 6:30, 7:30, 8:30, I'm there. So for me, it doesn't really matter. I see where people who like the later start time, I see where they're coming from. I've been that person before. My whole college career, we stayed in New Orleans and we wilded out every Friday night. Sometimes getting home at like 7 o'clock in the morning, and get up and go to the game. So I understand. But for me now, being the kind of person who typically gets to New Orleans on Saturday and goes home on Saturday, the start time doesn't really matter to me. The only thing is what time I'm gonna get home. That's because a 4 o'clock game now ends at like 8 because they stretch these games out. So you're looking at hour and a half drive to Baton Rouge, traffic and everything. You getting home like 10:30, 11 o'clock, depending on traffic leaving out of New Orleans. But to me, it's a non-issue, but I still wanted to talk about it because I saw a lot of people talking about it back and forth. Now, if you're a person who hasn't been to the Bayou Classic, then the start time should not matter to you, as far as the impact of it. I mean, I'm not saying you can't have an opinion because you got your right to talk about whatever you want to, but it's not really a big deal to outside people because if you're gonna watch the game, then you're probably gonna block out the time no matter what time it is to watch the game. It doesn't matter because there's Power 5 games going on all Saturday. You got Ohio State and Michigan in the morning, 12 o'clock noon every year. You got Florida State and Florida playing typically at noon because FSU sucks now. You got your USC and Notre Dame games. You got your Iron Bowl. You got mad Power 5 games. So if that's what you think this is avoiding, is not. The game has always been at 1 o'clock, 1:30 before they moved it in 2015 to 4 o'clock. So it doesn't have anything to do with what the opposition is showing on other channels because this game has been played at this time on this channel for years. So don't read too much into it, man. If you're going, hey, pace yourself. That's the only thing I can tell you. If you're gonna be out late on Friday, man, pace yourself because you got to get there and get in early to get the game going. So I didn't really feel like this should have been a topic, but me, I like to, I see stuff, I like to talk about it. So I just wanted to go ahead and throw my thoughts out there on that because, a lot of people, some people were looking for negative reactions from people. Now, a lot of the reactions I saw of people against it weren't like heavily negative. It just was like, I don't like the time because, we do A, B, C, D, and, we want to do whatever and get ready. So, but, there were some people who were trying to stir up some things and it's not really that kind of party. So I just wanted to put my thoughts on that and leave it where it is, 1:30, 4:30, I'm there. So, it's all good to me. So let's jump off of that and let's talk a little APR. Now, if you know about APR, then you know that this, is a thing that's, pretty serious thing as far as the academics of the academics of the programs and how they excuse me, sorry, I got this crazy echo popping off in here. Then that APR is a serious issue. I'm having a little bit of audio issues at the moment, so y'all please forgive me. Give me 1 second. Let me get this straight. All right, I'm back, y'all. I apologize for the audio issues right there. Trying out some new equipment and everything is going haywire. You know how that go. So we'll just leave it at that. Basically, if you don't know what APR is, it's called an academic progress rate. It's a measure that was introduced by the NCAA. to track student athletes' chances of graduation. The APR is a term-by-term measure of eligibility and retention for Division I student athletes that was developed as an early indicator of eventual graduation rates. It was basically put in place to kind of keep tabs on how long it takes kids to to matriculate through a program, and they give you a ranking on it. Basically, you have to achieve at above a 930 to be to not have to worry about any issues. Multiple times under 930, then you can be faced with some sanctions. Typically, if you fall below 900, you get a public warning letter first for poor performance. Second year, you get restrictions on scholarships and practice times on that particular sport. Third year that you are in that situation, then you lose postseason eligibility for that team. And then if you still do it after 4 years, then you have restricted membership status for the institution. The entire athletic department is penalized and will not be considered a part of Division I. Now, most of the time, that not really is an issue. It typically becomes, you get to that eligibility, losing scholarships, you get, postseason ban, but typically teams kind of get themselves on track. It is a rolling thing, so every 4 years, I believe it is, it turns over. So right now, coming off of the COVID stuff, I think that this is the first year that they've reinstituted it, and basically, if you can see this on the screen, this is the football APR rankings right now. Grambling is number one. They have a 961 score. Southern is 960. Texas Southern is 956. Jackson State is 950. Alcorn 946. Alabama A&M 932. Prairie View and UAPB are 931, and Valley is 930. So 8 of the 12 teams. Somebody's missing. Oh, excuse me. 8 of the 12 teams, because there's a tie. Sorry. 8 of the 12 teams, well, nine of the 12 teams finished above that 930. Valley was right there on the line. Bethune-Cookman is 907. Alabama State 904, and FAMU is 901. So those programs have some things to work on. To kind of get themselves back on track. Everybody else is doing fairly well. There are numbers out there for all sports right now, but I wanted to pull up football. To me, this is something that is definitely, because it's something that needs to be keep tabs on. Then it's definitely it's something that you definitely don't want to fall behind on. You want to keep yourself on a positive note, because the lower your scores are, the longer your scores are low, the harder it is to get out of those doldrums. I know Southern, they went through some heavy APR issues in the mid 2010s. FAMU had some APR issues in like 2018, 2019, I believe. So it can damage a program. It can cost you, postseason eligibility. It can cost you scholarships and practice time. In Southern's case, they had some serious issues. They got hit with lack of spring practice and all of this stuff back in the day. So it's something that's definitely warranting attention. You don't want to overlook it. You don't want to downplay it. But it's just one of those things that you want to kind of make sure that you do. In the FBS, a good APR ranking can get you a bowl game at 5 and 7. So that for them, that's another avenue to sneak into a bowl. That's just like another carrot to give people to make sure they keep their APRs up. But I think that this is something that is gonna have to continue to be worked on. I know a lot of this things have been haywire, with the COVID years and kids getting extra eligibility, some kids leaving. So a lot of numbers are out of whack. I think I think they weren't counting it at one point, but now, obviously it's back. So, that's just something to keep your eyes on. Right now, the numbers are what they are, but you want to really keep your eyes on that from this point forward because they are back on that APR life. So I want to close out. You've been talking about Southern. Southern hit Bowie State, man. Southern got a nice little Bowie State pipeline. The last couple of days, they got two big defensive back transfers. If you don't know, Bowie State lost their coach. He went to Morgan State. A few of their guys went into the portal. Some went in before because they want to give themselves an opportunity to play D1 football. If you don't know, Bowie State was a very, very good team last year. They made it deep into the playoffs. They've won the CIAA, multiple years. Their defense was one of the best in Division II. They have some talent on that team. So, Southern was able to get a few of those guys on campus on visits this past weekend, and they came out with two so far. Both defensive backs, Jordan Carter and Dimitri Marcel. Both all-conference type guys. Dimitri Marcel was the 2019 CIAA Defensive Player of the Year. He had 9 interceptions that year. They are guys who are definitely going to step in and help Southern's defense contribute. Coach Dooley has been doing a great job with hitting the portal and the JUCO ranks to kind of turn their roster over quickly and get the guys that he needs as far as his concern, his philosophy is concerned, and in his style of play. So Southern is making moves. I mean, obviously Jackson State is still the top dog right now in the SWAC in terms of recruiting. That J Hat is running rampant. Peter Woods is a big-time defensive lineman. He had JSU in his top 5, I believe, or top 4. So they think they got a good shot at him. So, JSU is doing things. Grambling is still, hitting the portal hard. They just got a linebacker from Arizona. Bama State and, Bama A&M are also making moves. FAMU quietly making moves. Bethune-Cookman has brought in like 2 more quarterbacks in the last couple of weeks. Prairie View got a defensive back from UNLV. So guys are coming in. There's a lot of, FBS transfers, some D2 move-ups, JUCO guys. A lot of teams aren't going to look like they did last season. So I think more so than any other year, this year is definitely going to be important for your coaching. Coaches are going to have to coach guys up. They're going to still have to develop guys because you want to bring in high school guys. You want to bring in portal guys with multiple years of eligibility. That's my philosophy. I don't mind, a 1-year rental in a spot that I got young guys that don't have any experience. If I could bring a 1-year guy who has experience and put him in that spot and let him kind of teach those guys behind him and get them ready for when he leaves, then I think that's a good look for me. That's really one of my things that I believe in. Especially like if you can get a 1-year quarterback, if you got young guys behind him, you bring in a 1-year guy who has started experience, then I think that can help, bridge that gap. Defensive line, that's another spot that I think secondary also. Those are spots that I think that a 1-year guy can come in and help a lot. I'm not that big on 1-year guys on the offensive line because you definitely need that consistent chemistry, and you really want to have that chemistry bleed into the next year. So if you can get a guy who has maybe some experience and has like 2 years, can come in and help build a chemistry on that line and get them together. That's fine. Other positions, it can be 1 year, multiple years, but obviously you don't want to just build your team on portal guys or JUCO guys. You need to still be in the high school ranks, but there's a balance that can be struck. A lot of times now people are still looking at transfers in that old, 90s, early 2000s situation where it's like, oh, this guy, he's garbage because he's transferring. With the portal, you're still going to get some guys who probably are not going to play at your school, even though they went to FBS schools. You may not have a needle mover come in. He may think he is, but he may not be. But the opportunity to get solid guys out of the portal is a whole lot greater than it was before with guys transferring. So, you have guys transferring who have started games and played multiple games for teams because they just want a new opportunity. And now guys want to check out the HBCU world because it's becoming kind of the thing. So you're gonna get more guys going to the portal because they wanna have that situation. Then you get guys like the Bowie State guys who lost their coach, and they want to try to move on. So I think everybody's recruiting well right now. Obviously the rubber is going to meet the road in September and August. So right now everybody's undefeated. Everybody's transfers are the greatest. But I really just wanted to shine light on those two guys because they come from a very, very good program and they have played and started. These are legit guys. So I think you're going to hear their names more often than not during the season. And I think, paper-wise, that Boombox Classic is looking a whole lot sweeter, man. This could be a hell of a matchup between these two teams if Southern continues to recruit the way they are and JSU is recruiting the way they are. If these teams can, play anywhere up to that level, I think that game is definitely going to be a sweet, sweet game. Bayou Classic as well. Gramblin's doing things, Southern's doing things. There's that intermixing right now of coaches and players. So, there's a lot of storylines that are going to be available all season long. So I'm mad hyped for this season, man. I don't know if if you guys have kind of put together your travel schedule at this point. I'll just run through mine real quick. I'm obviously going to be at all Southern home games. I'm a season ticket holder, so I will be there. I'll be in Arlington on September 17th. I'll be at LSU for that game on September 10th. I will be at the Boombox Classic. I'm weighing going to Tallahassee for the Southern game, and obviously Bayou Classic. So that's where I'm gonna be. Let me know where you're gonna be. And we'll talk about this tomorrow as well on SWAC Smoke. So make sure you check that out. I'm gonna go ahead and get on up out of here, man. I hope y'all enjoy y'all day, and I'll catch you guys on the rebound. We out of here.